Well, hello. Welcome to Deluxe Bakery in Iowa City. No, I'm not going to take your order because I wouldn't know how to do it correctly. But what I am going to do is take you back behind today. We're going to talk to Jamie, the owner. Heather's back there working too. We're going to maybe make some baguette because that's one of the things that I could definitely learn about. And then we're gonna go outside and we're going to put together some Christmas planters, make it feel all Christmassy. You may remember that I was here last year. It's my favorite bakery, not only in Iowa City, but just anywhere around because it is so amazing. They put so much work and love and passion into what they do. So I love to bring you along, show you everything that's going on, and maybe even show you some of the wonderful things they create here too. So usually when I come to Deluxe, I love to be on the outside of the counter, but once in a great while, I pry myself into the back, probably against the owner here, Jamie's chagrin. But this is Jamie, who has owned and ran this bakery for 19 years, which is in the heart, I would say, of like this beautiful residential Iowa City neighborhood. So it doesn't just feel like just like a run-of-the-mill bakery. It feels like it's part of a small community, even though it's in a broader community. And today though, so last year I think we decorated cookies.
We decorated cookies, you
I was
tried
awful.
to, you decorated, but no, you were fine.
I was awful. She sent them all home with me because she didn't want to sell them. But today we're doing a little bit more fun, and it's shaping baguette. So you started bread program.
6 years ago?
Has it really been 6 years?
5 or 6.
So she makes true baguette, which let me just tell you something. I know I talk about Iowa all the time. You can't find actual like true baguette pretty much anywhere except for Deluxe Bakery. So sure, first say the process at least of how you get to this point, like how you have the dough in front of you.
The dough is made very early in the morning.
Like how early?
We use a starter.
I want to know what time.
We have a morning baker that comes in at 3.
Goodness, okay.
The 3 a.m. baker, just right behind me, Rex, he's almost done with his day.
Thanks, Rex.
Starts at 3 a.m. He does croissant dough, Danish dough, baguette dough. The baguette dough is specific because it has a house-made starter.
You have your starter that you've always used for this.
Correct. And Rex is up and going, and then there's a certain time frame that we have to shape it and get it to settle back into itself.
So are these for selling today when you make it like this?
These we're shaping for tomorrow because they have to they rest
you let them
overnight.
rise then, like a slow ferment, and then you, okay.
I feel like you need an apron.
Am I gonna get dirty?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get an apron.
Okay, it's got cookie stuff on it.
Okay.
But you can do
it's like I've been working here for a while then that way.
You can do the rest.
Okay. Do you put it around the front? You do?
I put it around the front, and I have a stomach that it can actually sit on top of.
I do too.
That guys don't have.
Oh, well.
I think it's called like a
I did it.
mom pooch or something.
Perfect. Okay. Don't call mine not mom pooch.
Okay.
Okay.
So
show me what I'm doing.
Okay.
Fold.
So we're gonna fold it in and make sure you're seaming it like that. It looks ugly, but that's okay right now. Okay, bring that seam up. Yep. Fold it back and tighten it as much as you can. Okay. Looks ugly.
Once more.
Do it once more. And do it again. Get it to where you want it, and then I'm gonna put my seam down like this. Okay?
Mine looks like it needs to be revived.
Why are you doing that?
Well, it just, yours had a nice uniform shape. Mine didn't. See that bubble?
Why are you doing that?
Why do I have a bubble?
Let me see here.
Oh.
There you go. You're good.
I just need to do one more seam.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Now put it upside down.
Let it go. Let it go. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Now you kind of want to.
Out.
Yeah, but don't do your points yet, and not a heavy hand. Do a lighter hand. Okay. Now it's like a baby arm. You're just like rubbing a baby arm.
Is that what you do to a baby arm?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they can fully roll, but if I could, I would.
I'll go with it.
It's a little baby arm.
You go out farther than I did. Okay.
And then you're just gonna cap it off. Perfect.
Okay. Are you gonna throw these out after I leave?
No.
You promise?
No, I swear. No,
Okay.
I need them. I desperately need them.
Then I
so
won't mess up anymore.
there will be some Kayla
How many of these do you do a day?
70.
70?
Yeah.
Every day?
Yes, we're closed Mondays, so we don't do shaping Sunday.
So even with Thanksgiving coming in, more orders coming in, you still keep up with this and then plus do...
Yes, we keep up with
Like
baguettes.
how many pies do you do?
Last year, we did, I think, over 300 pies. And then we're doing croissants, cookies. You know, people that
Everything.
weekend are also celebrating Christmas. We have businesses, local businesses that are having their open houses. So the busiest time of year for a traditional bakery should be Thanksgiving weekend, because you're flipping Thanksgiving, you're flipping Christmas, and everything should be flipped.
That makes sense.
It gets tighter and tighter every year. Some people are decorating right after Halloween.
Well,
for
we get
Christmas.
closer to the season, it seems like, every year, and so we all want
Correct.
it. Which, talking about the season, let's just quick, okay, I have to show this. I walked in and this is what they were doing. So they do display cakes every year where you can see kind of options of what you could order if you want to when you come in. And Heather ran away. Heather just made this one. So all these little gingerbread houses. I think what we need to like really think about here is not only is the cake homemade, the gingerbread is homemade. It is then hand cut out. It is then hand made
piped.
into all this beautiful intricate work. So all that's hand piped on there by Heather, and look how then they just make the whole scene out of it. So on top of that, they do these beautiful type of gingerbread cookie type houses, but you do full like gingerbread kit houses, don't you?
I don't sell a kit, but
you-
I do a full gingerbread
Right.
house for families, yes.
Like
We
you'll
put all-
customize it.
Put the dog's names, the cat's names, everything.
Oh, you do the dog name?
Yeah, we do the dog name on a little dog bone.
I should just get Kip a whole house. That would
You
be adorable.
can, and we do
I
it
should-
fresh so that you can actually eat the house.
Oh, because otherwise you like.
You can eat, so like let's say you order, a lot of families order their gingerbread house to be picked up on the 22nd or 23rd. Then the day of Christmas, they smash it and they eat it
that's
like a big
fun.
cookie.
I
Yeah.
could let Kip smash a whole house. Be
I
adorable. Okay, so that's some of the inside, but guys, we're not done. We're gonna actually go out, and I'm gonna do what I'm a little bit better at than shaping baguette. We're gonna do some Christmas pots. Okay, I brought my coffee. Dirty chai is usually what I like to get here. An oat milk dirty chai to be specific, because it's delicious. So what we're gonna do are the same pots we did last year. We have 2 big urns, which you know I love the style already, on either side of the door, and then some cast iron low planters. Now, the one thing we're fighting in Iowa this year is temperatures have gotten much colder earlier than we've had for quite a few years. So guess what? A lot of the soil in these pots are frozen. So most of like the soil from the debris from the plants previously has been pulled out. So that's something you sometimes have to counteract. Now, these are too big to bring indoors. If you have pots that are frozen, bring them indoors and let them thaw out before you put all the greens in them. Honestly, I like the cold weather because for greens, it means it will keep them a lot longer. But what we're gonna do is start with just some all-purpose soil in these containers. I'm gonna fill them up so I can stick the greens in them. They're not planted, but what this acts is, it acts as a good, stable base for the greens to be stuck into. So what I'm doing is just putting some all-purpose soil in the containers. The soil was brought into my garage, so it warmed up and was, you know, easy and pliable. But what this does is, since this soil has a little bit of moisture in it, once we stick all the greens in it, and these cold temperatures, freezing temperatures stick around, they actually freeze in place all the greens and they hold on to them with the wind. So I like cold weather and I like filling the pots with soil. You just want to do it before it all freezes. So I have all my greens laid out that I'm going to use. Now I try to switch up a little bit every year, but there's only so many choices on greens. But you can see I have different types of the cedar. I have balsam down here. I have some princess pine tips. I have some spruce tips. And then I actually go out to keep it more economical, but also just use as a filler. I go and get in some of my arborvitae or cedar, and I use this as filler. So I have big old trees at home, and this is a great thing just to kind of put in. You just nip off a little amount. I'm not actually damaging the trees at all, and it acts as a great filler. So I always start with some balsam, because if you notice, balsam upside down has that waterfall effect, and I really like to start and have this around almost like a wreath at the base of whatever urn I'm doing. So I do always have to obviously trim it. So I have my secateurs or nippers here, just my garden pruners, and then I stick it down in the soil. So what I like about the balsam, this also works with noble. Noble can be a little bit pricier if you find noble fir, but when you put it in upside down, do you see how it kind of covers and goes outside the side of the pot? I really like that effect. Now you can go right side up, and then it kind of more goes upwards, or you could even put it in the back so it makes a spray, but I like it to kind of more go outwards because just like last year, we're gonna reuse those metal orbs we had with the lights on them. My thing is, when you have things that you like, when you have things that work for you, there's no reason to get brand new every year. So even when I nip, like I nipped this off, but notice I'm still gonna use both pieces. It's still good enough. I try to use all scraps, all pieces, all of whatever I'm using, because once it's jammed in there, it all acts as filler and it all acts as good green material to use. So once I have that first base created, which really is a wreath, I put some of them right side up also, so you have a play on textures. You have the silvery color underneath the greens, you have more of the deeper green of the needles when they're facing up front, and it kind of has this flowing effect back and forth. Now I start adding in some of my filler. I don't go with the expensive stuff right away. That's what I try to save towards the end. The princess pine tips, if it's noble fir, whatever you have, berries even, all those more expensive, so those I want to put in at the end. I want to start with my more cheaper items, just because you fill a pot with all the different textures of green before you really put the money out front where you're gonna see it. Kind of like when you're decorating your Christmas tree, I say the same thing. So you can see how now my arborvitae, it's a variety of cedar, that I'm putting in the container here, it's really acting as an instant filler. So it's filling in all these gaps. And then what we'll do is we'll place on the orbs that are gonna have lights on them, and we'll be able to work around them. But first I want this filler to start filling in all these gaps and spaces. And I'll do this on both pots and then be able to add those lights in too. Jamie's gonna come out and join us here in a minute, and we're just going to continue to put some greens together. So I've gotten a good base level going, but I really want her to kind of be part of the process, just because she lets me so often come in and see what she's doing, and I think that's kind of more fun.
Hey.
Welcome, Jamie. Oh, we're just throwing bows.
Do we need these?
So
well, they're from last year.
Did you stuff them in a closet, or what'd you?
I found them, and we made them, and I am slowly shrinking.
You're crumpling them more.
Are we making more today, or are we reusing these?
If we reuse some, we'll maybe use some that don't look like they were ran over. But these are beautiful. We'll just maybe, we'll repurpose, they're flattened a lot.
I have more ribbon from 8 years ago. We'll make it work.
We'll make it work. I know Jamie's super busy, so we're gonna go right into this.
Great,
do you want to decorate
I'm ready.
Do you want to decorate some containers?
Well, did we do this last year?
Well, I did. I think you were super busy making like pies, cakes, breads,
No,
cookies.
I was putting lights on ropes.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Oh, I mean, I put the
you
lights on the
were, but I
ropes.
think you were still really busy, so you probably didn't get a chance to. But do you want to be a part of it?
Yes, but
Okay,
you have to
okay.
tell me what what do I need to go get? I brought out the ribbon.
You
I
need
brought
nothing.
out the ribbon.
Yeah, we'll look at, okay. Let's put the ribbon down. So what I always do when I'm doing containers is I like to lay everything out. Kind of like think mise en place in the
I have to do that here.
Yeah.
I have to do that, yes, in
your
my
ingredients you like to lay out,
Yes,
see what you have.
100%.
So that's really what we're doing. And I like to do textures of greens just so we can kind of have, texture as we're looking at it. Now, I start with the cheapest things first,
Okay.
fill the most of the container with them, and then use the nicer, more expensive stuff towards the edges because that's
Of course,
the
that's
point.
a showcase.
Yeah. So if you come in here, I started on all these, you can see, but I
cheap,
thought...
cheap.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's still
Yeah,
custom.
no,
but
it's
actually,
real.
So
It's
no,
beautiful.
this stuff I cut from my house.
Oh my
and
God.
I just brought it. So you have a piece of me all season long. Isn't that so?
Putting it in my pocket.
It kind of sounds creepy, but
No.
So,
I'm ready for all of
you
this.
see what I did over here? We're gonna start on that one over here.
Oh, great.
So I thought we could work on this one, or you could, while I'm still working on other ones. So I'm kind of showing you over here what I did. I started with the balsam, which is all these that I clipped.
Yeah, they're ready for me.
And what I do with this is I like to put it starting upside down, because do you see when it's upside down how it falls out?
and then you
But if you start,
poof it out.
If you do this all the way around, do you see how it creates almost like a wreath all the way around?
Yes.
So that's what we're gonna start by doing, and then we're gonna start filling in with like the arborvitae and other fun stuff.
Oh my God, these are all like arborvitae's. Like, I love it. It's from the 80s. My parents planted a million of
I know
them.
everyone has it. I know.
And
But
right
most-
now they're huge because it was a big 80s thing.
Or dead. Some people, they're either huge or dead.
Yeah.
But let's start with this, get it to that point, and then we'll put the orbs on, we'll add some fun stuff, do all that.
Okay, fab. I'm gonna go get my lipstick.
So we are putting in, why are you holding that yet?
Well, I was just gonna, we're done.
Nope, that's okay. So that's one of the more expensive ones that we'll put into. So when they get long like this, actually what I do, just to make it go further, is I clip it down inside.
So you have to like get these clippers.
Yeah, you need clippers. Do you not have clippers?
I use like scissors to where I'm like,
In your yard?
I would have just put it in there and been totally screwed up.
Okay. Well, now I know what to get you for Christmas. But when you take it and clip it, you have then multiple pieces you can put in. So it's
Less
kind of
money.
like, right, I know. I'm so like my mom. But what we're gonna do now, did you put the pine cone in?
I thought we were
We're
basically
not, no.
done.
We're
I'm
not
taking
ready for the
it
pine
out.
cone. So we have the balsam first. Now we're adding in like this stuff. Because this is kind of just filler.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
gonna
this
do.
that's what you were gonna do.
See,
Yeah.
and you just pop it up, right?
Yeah, it just fills in all those little gaps. See how it like instantly makes it look really full, really
Yes.
beautiful. Now, I did have to add soil to these. I was telling them earlier. It's pretty frozen out, which we're not
Right.
usually by now. So I added some fresh.
Last year it was tropical when
It
we
was
were
like
doing
super
yeah.
warm and things got brown really fast.
Yeah.
But this year these should stay green. But I added potting soil because now when these, like it freezes,
Yeah.
make sure you get them in the soil. This one was just laying in there, Jamie. I think we have to stuff it down in there.
Okay.
Because then now when it freezes, it will actually act as like a cement, like a glue
Okay.
for it. Okay, before we put those in,
Okay.
let's do the spruce those.
Oh,
So those are just
Two
kind of
for
more
one.
2 for 1. And you can stick them in
Oh,
towards
cute.
the back kind of. Let them spread out a little bit. Now we can add in some of this smaller princess pine tip. So as you're doing it,
do these all go in here?
not all of it, no,
Okay.
because we'll put some in up here too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want the metal orbs in next, and then we'll fill in with all this kind
I
of
already
fun.
forgot I have to go get the orbs.
Where are they?
Just don't worry.
That's a big pile. Make sure that you get them in the soil. If you don't, the wind is going to knock them all out.
Okay, I'm gonna go get those now. See what's going on.
We're gonna take a few of these out and put them in the soil. So Jamie and I did a couple of the containers, and then you helped.
I really screwed them
Guys.
up, okay?
It's a
And
busy
look at
day.
me now,
Still down
Caleb,
here.
look at me now.
So what they're doing is what they do every year.
We do this every year, and it is worse than childbirth,
It's
okay?
real garland, and they're putting lights on it, which isn't a fun job, but look, this cannot be worse than child.
I mean, it's like,
They're putting the lights on. I'm gonna finish the containers, and what I'm gonna do now is a little bit more of the nicer, more expensive stuff. So I placed the orbs. The one needs new lights, but we're gonna place it there just so we can see what we're doing. But I'm taking some of the longer, more beautiful cedar. Look at that, I love this cedar. And some more of the fun, kind of exciting greens. And if you come up with me, I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. So I have the big orbs placed. And this is when I like to cement the orbs in, but also add kind of that more, just like the jewels on the outside kind of. So see how when we're putting this in, it's really starting to create almost like an art piece by it's flowing out. It's showing all these silvery and greens, and the tips are kind of flowing outward. So this is when you add in all that fun stuff that has the color, that has the really unique texture. And we're gonna throw it in there so it really starts to show off a little bit. And what it's doing, since I have this orb placed in here, I'm putting them in across those metal bars so they'll hold this in place when it gets windy, when it gets snowy, whatever it is. And you can see now how you really notice those beautiful greens. Now, I'm using these metal orbs. I know everyone wants to know where I get them. I find them locally. So just like I love this local bakery, I love my local garden center, IOC Landscaping, and they get in these awesome orbs. Now, these are cool to me with lights or without lights, just because they add really unique structure. So we need to replace the lights on this one. They're not replaced yet, but we're gonna set it here just so we can kind of get the shape and feel of what's going on. So once I have the orb placed and I have my filler all around it, this is when I start adding in some of the really fun greens. Now, just like all the others, I will trim on these greens, and what I'll do is trim, but still put in where you trimmed from. It looks ugly at first, but the thing is, when you stick it in here, you don't even see where that cut piece is. And we'll keep adding in these greens. And what you'll notice is, this is what really starts flowing outwards. Now, what I'm gonna try to watch for too is the door, and making sure that people can walk out without being too obstructed. But along with those, I wanna add some filler on the inside of the container. So spruce tips, I don't want anything too tall or out of place. I want it to all be kind of somewhat even and not feel like one thing is sticking straight up. So I did trim them, but what you can see they do is they add really nice filler. So when you stick them in here, they add something to the center of these orbs so during the day, they don't just stick out. Now, obviously, I need to add some greens in around them also. But as we stick those in there, you get a few of the tips, a few of like the Christmas tree look, and then we'll keep adding greens all around it. And we're gonna finish it with some berries, which I think just the red pops the color. That's really what makes it. Berries, eucalyptus, fresh things, they may not last all season. It all depends on the weather. If it gets warm, if it gets hot, if it gets too, you know, they may not last, but they will look really good in there right now. So this is eucalyptus and some fresh berries that are just gonna look kind of really fun. So the eucalyptus just kind of adds that great, unique silvery green foliage that is really fun in here. And then all the berries obviously are gonna add more of that seasonal pop of color. Now, if you remember, or if you happen to watch when I did these pots last year, I used faux berries, which I think Jamie still has. And so if these berries don't last all season, we could switch these out for those faux all-weather berries. I just think it's kind of more fun to add something in that has that real effect, especially since she mentioned their busy time is right here at Thanksgiving. As people are really coming in and getting their orders, it just has such a more welcoming look. So I'm gonna start putting these in. And you see how instantly it doesn't need a lot to show that pop of color. Okay, Jamie, so this is when I have everything put in there.
This is what I did.
This is what Jamie did, you guys. See, Jamie does it all. She's a baker, she's a pot maker.
Yeah, I just had Caleb come just to approve what I did.
Just to chat. I like to chat about it.
Okay.
So I threw in things like eucalyptus, the fresh berries at the end. These could be switched out throughout the season if you want to.
These are fresh berries?
Yeah, they are.
Oh my God, they're so awesome.
I know, they're
like
pretty,
real,
right? So they may not last all season is the thing.
They're going to last till Easter.
Okay, I'm gonna personally rip this stuff out if it's in here till Easter.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll put lights on this at some point after the video. But you know, honestly, if someone doesn't want to put lights on, they look fun without lights.
They're so cute. You could put a couple little ornaments, not gaudy, but okay.
Oh, that's true. You could.
Or just a little ornament here.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
That's true. It's a good idea. Everything else is put in the soil. So as it freezes again, things should really be cemented in.
Okay.
This one I'll try to maybe take apart for you later so you can put lights on it if you want to, like the other one.
This smells amazing.
It does smell good, right?
I'm telling you, in the 90s, they did Yankee Candle, okay? We all remember that. It smells way better than Yankee could ever do. I don't know what they're doing now, because clearly I've been under a rock, but there's nothing that compares to the
Driving
smell.
up here in my car, this it smelled amazing in the car. It really does. Sadly, that may not last. If we stay cold like this will last looking fresh all season. That's what always.
It is so beautiful, Caleb.
But let's put up your garland because I want to see it with the garland up.
Okay.
Right?
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Now the biggest question here is whether we have the zip tie.
I have the zip tie.
Yeah, last year I did not understand the zip tie thing. I mean, I know I said I put it up there, but I don't think I did. So you take that.
To her.
Yeah, let's do the middle.
And make sure we get the middle. And then what way do you want the outlet? This way, probably right here.
You do it like this.
Slap it up there, Caleb.
Okay, it's up.
Zip tie it.
Oh, and we have a wreath.
Yep. And there's the wire.
By the way, Caleb is a professional, just
Oh,
so we
yeah.
have to remind
Oh, yeah.
ourselves.
RJ, shut up.
Professional. I'm not a professional. Okay.
I'm doing nothing. Look at me. I'm just doing this. Okay, where's those zip ties?
How much swag do we want?
None.
None. Okay.
None. And then I can zip tie, so you're fine.
Oh, you don't trust me to zip tie?
Get
I'm gonna try to
there,
zip tie.
you go.
I just may not be able to do it with gloves. Let's see. You know, last year the zip tie made no sense, but this year I feel really good about it.
Right then.
I'm gonna do this now until I die, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm sending you home with that bag of zip ties, Caleb.
Okay.
The real question is, will Caleb come back? I hope. I got it.
Oh, there. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Here, I have an idea. Yeah. I have no zip tie. There. Okay, that's not going anywhere. So we came out, we got pretty much wrapped up, and let's go over everything we did.
Oh,
Okay, so you put up the garland.
Overwhelmed.
Well, actually, we did it together. You put the lights on the garland, then we put up the garland and the wreaths.
Yes.
Which that's kind of the traditional thing you've been doing for 19. Have you been doing it 19 years?
Yes.
Seriously, 19?
Yes.
The garland? Wow.
Yes. And this year I had a snafu.
I wasn't going to
We checked the lights, but now I'm going to have to get in there in the wee hours of the night.
Okay, I wasn't even going to tell anyone, but okay.
I have to replace the fuses,
Yeah.
guys.
Well, we hope it's the fuses.
Yeah.
You might have to replace all the lights.
We're not talking about that now.
Okay.
We're gonna go eat baguettes soon.
First, I tried to switch it up a little bit this year. We added in eucalyptus. We
It's
added
amazing.
in the fresh berries. We have them, they look a little bit more, I don't know, should we say artsy? They're
are-
really big and voluminous and...
I don't remember what happened last year.
Can I
'cause
tell
they're so
you
gorgeous.
the
Yeah.
one thing I chose just for you? You probably don't even realize it. I chose not only red berries, but the yellow because I know you like pops of color. You are
love
someone that,
pops.
beyond
I love
me,
'em.
I'm not good at pops of color. Like everyone knows this. I don't usually do, but I knew you would like the yellow in there.
My house is all pops of
All
color.
pops. It's just pops.
It's-
just pop,
yes.
pop, pop.
No, you knew that's why I said this year. What did we do last year? Because this year is amazing. Yet last year was great, but this year, like,
I think what we have to remember is the pots aren't really the reason people come here. The reason is that this is
They're
an
pots.
outstanding bakery that
pots.
that Iowa City is lucky to have because people like Jamie, people like Heather that work inside, everyone. It's so much work to run something, especially a small business, especially in food, and they do it everything.
Thank you.
They do it all homemade. They actually make, I mean, I don't think everyone quite understands how hard it can be to make croissant, how hard it is to make baguette, how much work that takes to do it overnight.
People ask
have
us
it
where we
ready.
get our food.
Oh my, really?
Yeah, they said yesterday, where do you get all this? I said, we just get it.
We just make it.
We just make it.
So the point of these pots is not for pots. It's so people can feel welcomed into the place they feel at home, which is the bakery. So
Because of Caleb.
No, it's not because of me. It's because of Jamie. So what this is about is hopefully to inspire you maybe for Christmas spots, but also maybe to find your favorite local spots too, like I do with
Yes.
Deluxe in Iowa City. Find your local spots, support them, enjoy the Christmas season with your local businesses. That's really the point here. And until next time, share the video around, check my website, wiseguy.com, but more so seek out places like Deluxe Bakery.
Check your fuses.